Today, is Fortnite ruining our children? Yes, but for a completely different reason this time. This is CheckPoint. Welcome to CheckPoint. It's a solo act today, so strap in for an all-beach...
I'm here. Sorry. Okay, I'm ready.
What the hell do you mean you're ready? Are you done editing Road Quest?
Oh, no. This is my lunch break.
I mean, if you'd rather be here than face down in Burrito, I'm not going to stop you. Do you care to take point?
Oh, don't mind if I do. We've reported before on Tencent's troubles with being allowed to make in-app purchase money from PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds in China, with the country's notoriously difficult Games Approval Authority and their hard line on violence. Well, it looks like we won't be seeing Comrade Mysterious Socialist Shootdown approved in China anytime soon. Instead, Tencent pulled that game and released a totally different game that's actually the same game. It's called Game for Peace, that is not a joke, and describes itself as, quote, paying tribute to the blue sky warriors that guard our country's airspace. Tencent, whose shares went up 2% after this announcement, say the game was developed totally new in-house, even though China's existing 70 million PUBG players are seeing their progress carry over into this totally new and different game. The best part, though, is that when you kill an enemy, instead of dying and leaving their loot behind, they give you their loot and then wave goodbye, which is actually an option I want in every game now. The next Call of Duty, when I kill a fascist, I want him to raise his high-vis flag above his head and walk off the field drinking a Monster Energy.
BlizzCon 2019 has taken a brave step into the high-tech world of ticketless tickets, requiring all attendees to use a third-party app to enter the event. The Access Ticket app, created by the Access Ticketing Service, actually sounds pretty neat. It generates QR codes that expire so that you can guarantee that no one can steal your ticket, since technically it's always changing. This is kind of amazing because I didn't realize that BlizzCon was at a level of popularity that required using the same kind of access control usually reserved for strategic gold reserves or the sex dungeons of oligarchs. The app doesn't even require you to be online, as it generates the rotating QR codes on the device, which is a relief if you've ever tried to get cell signal inside the meat-packed Faraday cage hell that is the modern convention center. And if your phone dies while at the event, giving you no way to generate a code, don't worry, you'll be able to wait at a solutions desk. I have no fucking clue why, since they don't actually give any details on how said desk will address the problem, but you can sure as hell wait there. But the cherry on top of this shit sundae has got to be the permissions. To use the app, you need to grant it the right to prevent your device from sleeping, give it the access to your contacts and to your approximate and exact locations, give it full network access, and give it the right to pair with Bluetooth devices. Why? What Bluetooth devices? And why does it need network access? Is it calling home with my list of contacts to build a marketing list? So this begs the question, what was wrong with physical tickets? The answer? Nothing. Nothing is wrong with physical tickets, or with PDFs of physical tickets, or with a screenshot of a QR code. There's nothing wrong with them. I fly with my phone as my boarding pass and I've never run into a problem that took longer than 8 seconds to address. Congrats, Blizzard. You've made attending BlizzCon more of a pain in the ass than airport security.
Even if you're an avid fan of the Borderlands franchise, you might have forgotten that Borderlands 3 got a big, fancy gameplay reveal in Los Angeles last week, and that distraction probably stems from controversy and consternation surrounding Gearbox CEO Randy Pitchford, who, in the interest of being open, has been very generous and supportive of the Desert Bus for Hope fundraiser we help organize every year, but has also really been going off on Twitter. The elated hype of the B3 gameplay demo lasted about 25-30 minutes before Pitchford started swearing at a gaming website. At the reveal, Pitchford said Borderlands 3 would have no microtransactions, in a statement likely brought on by a bout of high spirits more than accuracy, because it was quickly clarified that cosmetic microtransactions would absolutely be available, just like Borderlands 2. Game Informer ran an article with an accompanying tweet that read, despite Gearbox CEO Randy Pitchford's comment about, quote, no microtransactions in Borderlands 3 during today's live stream, we've been told cosmetic items are still purchasable. which is an important clarification. Whether or not you think cosmetic items don't count, which is a conversation for another time. Pitchford immediately replied by calling it a, quote, shitty clickbait headline and musing, quote, why you guys would fuck me on this is beyond me, as if it's the job of the game's press to act like Gearbox PR department. A PR department we do not envy this week, as the hits kept coming. David Eddings, former Gearbox VP of Partnerships and Licensing and voice of the game's mono-wheeled robot mascot Claptrap, was asked to return to the role, despite not working at Gearbox since 2017. Employees at Gearbox often provide voice work for their titles without additional pay. That's a thing that you can do if you work there. It's not required, and everyone at Gearbox is on the same page about it. But since Eddings doesn't work there anymore, he said he was happy to do it, but wanted something in return, specifically outstanding royalties and an apology. The royalties are presumably because he was fired from his VP position in 2017, and the apology, well, Eddings alleges he was physically assaulted by Randy Pitchford at a Marriott during GDC. He claims he reported the incident to Gearbox HR and then was personally fired by Pitchford the next day. Pitchford, who does agree that he fired Eddings, though obviously hasn't said why, claims Eddings was offered 2 times the industry standard voice acting rate and turned it down, which doesn't refute what Eddings said, and also sounds eerily familiar as this is the second voice actor kerfuffle involving Borderlands 3, with the appearance of popular character Reese. Reese first appeared in Telltale's Tales from the Borderlands, voiced by Troy Baker, who Pitchford confirmed would not be returning to voice Reese in Borderlands 3. Except that Baker has been actively asking for the role since Reese's appearance was announced and stated that, far from him turning it down, Gearbox never even asked him, suggesting that Pitchford should fact-check before tweeting things. And the notion of fact-checking brings us neatly back around to Game Informer, whose editor-in-chief, Andy McNamara, even asked Pitchford directly what was factually wrong in the microtransaction story so they could correct it, and Pitchford spent 18 meandering tweets failing to clarify his statement. Pitchford loves stage magic, but so far his most impressive trick has been to make the ironclad goodwill of creating Borderlands disappear.
In Fortnite, you can buy skins and cosmetic items to change the look of your character, and if you don't, you can play with default skins. You can earn some skins through rigorous play, but ultimately the coolest stuff costs money. None of these skins affect gameplay in a positive or negative way unless the look of the weird fishman unsettles you enough to ruin your aim and give you waking nightmares. A lot of kids play a lot of Fortnite, and so skins have taken center stage as a way to bully each other. If you don't buy the right skins, your classmates will think less of you. Don't buy any skins and you'll be ridiculed as a default. Other players will gang up on you in the game, they'll shit talk and abuse you and just make the experience miserable. And then, when you go to school, the abuse will continue because clearly the lack of a $20 custom skin means you're worthless. Frankly, I'm surprised this has taken as long as it has to get a major article, but that's the only thing I'm surprised by. This default skin thing? This is just Levi's red tabs for the 21st century. Oh, I'm sorry, were you not in grade 7 during the early 90s? Let me catch you up on my life. I started grade 7 like everyone else in my city did by moving to a junior high school with a bunch of other kids from other elementary schools. Everyone moving into their teens was busy figuring out how to impress everyone, and somehow Levi's red tab jeans got pulled into that orbit. Red tabs are from Levi's 500 series, so whether they were the classic fit button fly 501s, the identical zipper fly 505s, or even the Euro fit 535s or relaxed fit 550s, all of these jeans qualified you for the correct social status. If you wore Wranglers or GWG or Cherokee, you were out. And God help you if you wore Levi's orange tab jeans. The 600 series were seen as work jeans, not fashionable or cool, and do you know why? Because anyone could afford to buy them. That's all. That's the only reason. You were uncool if you wore them, even though they were also Levi's, because they weren't the more expensive ones. So this isn't new to me, and it probably isn't new to anyone else either. Kids get bullied for that thing they said or that thing they didn't say, or for looking different or for not looking different enough. And sadly, kids also definitely get bullied over money, or rather the lack of it, something they have absolutely no control over. Can we fix this? How? My parents couldn't do it for me, and I probably won't be able to do it for my kids either. If you figure out a way to do it, start doing it and let the rest of us know so we can do it too, because this isn't a problem with Fortnite. This is a problem with us.
That sounds like the kind of complaining I'd expect from a default.
Seriously, what did we just learn?
Nothing, I guess. Coming up, as a reward for sitting through the depressing state of video game news this week, please enjoy 100 minutes of Detective Pikachu dancing. It's on YouTube and it's glorious.
So, couple things.
Yeah.
Wait. Okay.